Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to pop on quickly and speak to you about some powerful concepts. I have three really key things that you can take and practice today in regards to shifting your emotional energy and shifting your mood, as well as shifting your vibration. So when we're speaking about vibration, if you study anything to do with metaphysics and energy, the law of attraction, they often say that you will attract to you the equivalent to what you're vibrating at. And the way to know where you're vibrating at is to come back to yourself and sort of feel where you are emotionally, because your emotions are the indicator to tell you where your vibration is at. So I remember when I was first new to these concepts of the law of attraction and vibration and energy, I thought, well, yeah, that sounds like a really lovely thing, but how the heck do you apply that when you're just feeling like crap, when you're depressed, when you're dealing with some heavy stuff, when you're dealing with health issues that leave you feeling awful, when your marriage is not working, when you're highly just depressed and your finances are a mess and you're going bankrupt, and there's all these things that we can go through in our human experience. So it's like, okay, I'm attracting more of that because I'm feeling like crap. That's great. That doesn't really help me. So I remember I used to feel really stuck in that. Like, okay, I get that me staying in this state is just going to attract more of that to me on the vibrational standpoint. But then what, right? Like there has to be some kind of something we can apply in the gap there. And so I'm going to offer you a few things that might be able to help you. So our emotions are an indicator for where we're vibrating at. So if you're studying anything to do with the law of attraction, that's what they will talk about, is your emotional state is telling you where your vibration is at. So we have that as an indicator. So a way to shift emotion. So I always say feel your emotion first, because it's a powerful messenger and a powerful indicator of something that you need to pay attention to. So don't quickly just try and go into fix it mode and repressing it and trying to positive think your way out of it. I always say I found that would just dig the hole deeper through my healing journey, and I still practice this, right? Because we all have times where we're struggling. So instead of digging that hole deeper and judging how you feel or trying to push it away or talk yourself out of how you're feeling, it's better to just sit with it for a little while and just see what it has to offer you, because there's always something in there to pay attention to. So number one, you're going to feel it and just be with it, go into it, see what is there and what it has to teach you. And then from there, so you don't stay stuck in it, because that's what can tend to happen, especially with somebody who's depressed, is that you kind of just stay stuck in that. And it's this downward spiral that happens. And the longer you're in it, the harder it is to come out of it. So what I recommend is going into your thought forms. What is going on in your mind? Because we have control over that. I don't believe we really necessarily have control over our feelings and our emotions, because I feel like that is, I mean, this is just my feeling and belief with the work that I've done on myself and with clients and studying. Like, I think that we can really judge ourselves harshly for feeling the way that we feel. And I don't think there's a lot of control over how we feel. But we do have control over our thoughts. So I'm hoping this makes some sense where I'm going with this. So we do have control of our thoughts. So if we're going into a psychology framework of cognitive behavioral therapy, some of you might be familiar with that if you've been in therapy before. It's where we look at the thought creates the feeling, and then the feeling creates the behavior. But I like to go even further than that and look at the belief, because your beliefs create your thoughts. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking, right? So sometimes your belief in something can create your thoughts, and sometimes it's those repetitive thoughts that anchor in that belief. So we have to sort of untwist all of this. So simply put, today what we're going to focus on is how you can master your mind, in a sense, to start to pay attention to how your thoughts are making you feel, because that's where we have the power. We do have some power over what we're thinking. So number one, the point that I want, a key concept, is emotional responses are not the result of what's happening, but it's from our thinking and beliefs about it. So that's a powerful statement in itself, because we think that our emotions are happening because of something that's going on. There's a triggering event, there's something that's going on, but that is not what creates the emotion. It's our thinking about that situation. So in that moment, we can choose to come back to ourselves and be aware and present of what is going on in our minds, what thoughts we're thinking, because that is what's triggering the emotion, not the event. The second key concept is the situation is neutral. The situation and whatever it is that is triggering you, know that that situation is actually neutral, and you have the power to neutralize that with your mind, with your thought. So for an example, if you're someone that gets really stressed out in traffic and just having someone cut you off, or you're stuck and you're just like, right? So that could be person number one that finds that extremely stressful. And for me, that does not stress me out at all. I actually take it as a moment to just go, okay, the universe is giving me a moment to just breathe and be present and check in. And that is exactly what I do if I'm in traffic or stuck at a stoplight. It doesn't really stress me out. Maybe if I'm like in a big, huge hurry and I'm late and I'm trying to hurry up, and that's when you're in traffic, I might start to feel stressed out. But the stressed out thought that I'm aware of is that, Leanne, you didn't leave early enough. You're always running behind, and you're never on time, and those kind of thoughts. And what are they going to think if you're late? And it's not going to look good. So it's the thinking that's behind the emotion. So remember, the situation is always neutral. And thinking is not reality. What we are thinking about something does not make it reality. So thinking is our attempt to interpret a given situation. So when something happens, our mind is trying to interpret what's going on, right? But just because you have a thought about something doesn't mean that that is reality. So challenge your thinking and just sort of dig deeper into that. If this really resonates with you, a really good resource on really challenging and inquiring about your thoughts is the work of Byron Katie. You can go on her website. She has all of her resources on there. You can download the process to go through to really dig deeper into your thought patterns. But oftentimes, just going to the first question that she asks in the inquiry is it true? When you have a thought that's causing an upset or trigger or emotional response. And quite often with clients, that's all it takes too, is just for me to just go in with that little bit of like, is it true? Like, do you know for sure that what you're thinking is true? So sometimes that's all it takes. So if you notice that you're in an upset, or you're finding yourself in a tizzy, or everything's just kind of going sideways, is to challenge the thought. Like, is this really true, or am I just making this up in my mind to be so? So the points again, as a recap, will be knowing that your emotional responses are not the result of what is happening. It's your thinking that is causing the emotional response. And in the beginning, it can be really hard to see that. And it can be a little frustrating when I hear clients will say to me when we're doing this work, like, I'm not thinking anything. It's just how I feel. But there is thinking going on always, right? So it's about bringing that to consciousness and really being aware, self-aware and awake to what's going on. And then number two, it's our beliefs about the situation. And it's not about the situation. It's our beliefs and thoughts about it. The situation is always neutral. So remembering that there could be one situation that two people interpret very differently. So that goes to tell you that it's all mindset, right? And then our thinking is not our reality, but it's our attempt to interpret what is happening around us. Our mind is always thinking and analyzing. So that is where you can really question, like, is this really the truth? Like, is that guy just cut me off a real twit? Or maybe he's just in a hurry. Maybe he's got to get somewhere. Maybe he didn't see me. And we can choose in that moment to neutralize the situation just by inquiring about it. So I hope that was helpful. And like, these are powerful concepts, and they take practice and they take dedication to wanting to master this area of our lives and to stop constantly reacting to everything that is happening around us. And if you are wanting to attract more into your life of, where you want to go, we do have to be mindful of our vibration, our energy, because everything is energy. We all feel each other's energy. And when we're interacting, you're probably feeling my energy as you're listening to this video. And I do my best when I come on to video or when I'm working with clients to clear my energy, no matter what is going on in my personal life or whatever, right? We all have stuff. We can choose to master our mindset and our energy in such a way that we can clear all of that and just bring the light through. So that's really the what I wanted to share today. I felt inspired to share that. I was reading a little bit about this morning in my book during my coffee and reading time. And these things just stood out to me as I need to share this. And as I feel like I need to do that, that's what I do, because that is my calling. I don't get paid to get on videos and share my inspiration, but I feel like it is part of my life's purpose to share what it is that I'm learning and to help other people. So I'd love to hear from you. Comment below how this helped you, anything that really resonated, and I'd love to hear what you think of this. I'm off to go and grocery shop with my children. Fun, fun. So have a good Saturday.